Hello, welcome back to the channel. So we are studying the gist of ncert geography. This video is on chapter 4, that is natural vegetation. So let's start. Natural vegetation refers to a plant community that has been left undisturbed over a long time, so as to allow its individual species to adjust themselves to climate and soil conditions as fully as possible. India is a land of great variety of natural vegetation. Himalayan heights are marked with temperate vegetation. The Western Ghats and the Andaman Nicobar Islands have tropical rainforests. The deltaic regions have tropical forests and mangroves. The desert and semi-desert areas of Rajasthan are known for cacti, a wide variety of bushes and thorny vegetation. Depending upon the variations in the climate and the soil, the vegetation of India changes from one region to another. On the basis of certain common features such as predominant vegetation type and climatic regions, Indian forests can be divided into following groups. What are they? Tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, tropical thorn forests, mountain forests, littoral and swamp forests. So these are the groups that we can divide Indian vegetation. First one is tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest, then tropical deciduous forest, 3 tropical thorn forests, and 4 mountain forest, and 5 littoral and swamp forests. So we need to study one by one tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forests. These forests are found in the western slope of the Western Ghats, hills of the northeastern region, and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They are found in warm and humid areas with an annual precipitation of over 200 cm and mean annual temperature above 22 degrees Celsius. Tropical evergreen forests are well stratified with layers closer to the ground and are covered with shrubs and creepers with short structured trees followed by tall variety of trees. In these forests, trees reach great heights up to 60 meters or above. There is no definite time for trees to shed their leaves, flowering and fruition. As such, these forests appear green all the year round. Species found in these forests include rosewood, mahogany, annie, ebony, etc. The semi-evergreen forests are found in the less rainy parts of these regions. Such forests have a mixture of evergreen and moist deciduous trees. The undergrowing climbers provide an evergreen character to these forests. Main species are white cedar, hillock and kale. The British were aware of the economic value of the forests in India, hence large-scale exploitation of these forests was started. The structure of forests was also changed. The oak forest in Garhwal and Kumaon were replaced by pine, which was needed to lay railway lines. Forests are also cleared for introducing plantations of tea, rubber and coffee. The British also used timber to construct activities as it acts as an insulator of heat. The protectional use of forests was thus replaced by commercial use. Second, tropical deciduous forests. These are the most widespread forests in India. They are also called the monsoon forests. They spread over regions which receive rainfall between 70 to 200 cm. On the basis of the availability of water, these forests are further divided into moist and dry deciduous. The moist deciduous forests are more pronounced in the regions which record rainfall between 100 to 200 cm. These forests are found in the northeastern states along the foothills of Himalayas, eastern slopes of the Western Ghats and Odisha. Teak, sal, sesam, hura, mahua, amla, simul, kusum and sandalwood etc. are the main species of these forests. Dry deciduous forest covers vast areas of the country where rainfall ranges between 70 to 100 cm. On the wetter margins, it has a transition to the moist deciduous, while on the drier margins to thorn forests. These forests are found in rainier areas of the peninsula and the plains of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. In the higher rainfall regions of the peninsular plateau and the northern Indian plain, these forests have a parkland landscape with open stretches in which teak and other trees interspersed with patches of grass are common. As the dry season begins, the trees shed their leaves completely and the forest appears like a vast grassland with naked trees all around. Tendu, Palas, Amalthus, Bale, Khoer, Axlewood, etc., the common trees of these forests. In the western and southern part of southern Rajasthan, vegetation cover is very scanty due to low rainfall and overgrazing. Third is tropical thorn forest. So tropical thorn forest occur in the areas which receive rainfall less than 50 centimeters. These consist of a variety of grasses and shrubs. It includes semi-arid areas of southwest Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. In these forests, plants remain leafless for most part of the year and give an expression of scrub vegetation. Important species found are babul, bear and wild date palm, khoir, neem, khejri, palash, etc. Tusoki grass grows up to a height of 2 meters as the undergrowth. Next is mountain forests. In mountainous areas, the decrease in temperature with increasing altitude leads to a corresponding change in natural vegetation. Mountain forests can be classified into two types, the northern mountain forest and the southern mountain forests. The Himalayan ranges show a succession of vegetation from the tropical to the tundra which change in with the altitude. Deciduous forests are found in the foothills of the Himalayas. It is succeeded by the wet temperate type of forest between and altitudes of 1000 to 2000 meter. In the higher hill ranges of northeastern India, hilly areas of West Bengal and Uttaranchal, evergreen broad-leaf trees such as oak and chestnut are predominant. Between 1500 to 1750 meter, pine forests are also well developed in this zone, with cheer pine as a very useful commercial tree. Deodar, a highly valued endemic species, grows mainly in the western part of the Himalayan range. Deodar is a durable wood mainly used in construction activity. Similarly, the chinar and the walnut, which sustain the famous Kashmir handicrafts, belong to this zone. Blue pine and spruce appear at altitudes of 2225 to 3048 meter. At many places in this zone, temperate grasslands are also found. But in the higher reaches, there is a transition to alpine forests and pastures. Silver firs, junipers, pines, birch, and rhododendrons, etc., occur between 3000 to 4000 meter. However, these pastures are used extensively for transhumance by tribes like the Gujars, the Bakarwals, the Bhutias, and the Gaddis. The southern slopes of the Himalayas carry a thicker vegetation cover because of relatively higher precipitation than the drier north-facing slopes. At higher altitudes, mosses and lichens form part of the tundra vegetation. The southern mountain forests include the forest tundra in three distinct areas of peninsular India, which the Western Ghats, the Vindhyas, and the Nilgiris. As they are closer to the tropics and only 1500 meters above the sea level, vegetation is temperate in the higher regions and subtropical on the lower regions of the Western Ghats, especially in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. The temperate forests are called solas in the Nilgiris, Anaimalai, and Palani hills. Okay, remember this. The temperate forests are called solas in the Nilgiris, Annamalai, and Palani hills. Some of the other trees of this forest of economic significance include magnolia, laurel, cinchona, and wattle. Such forests are also found in the Satpura and the Michael ranges. Now, next one is littoral and swamp forest. So, India has a rich variety of wetland habitats. About 70% of this comprises areas under paddy cultivation. The total area of wetland is 3.9 million hectares. Two sites, Chilika Lake, Odisha, and Kevaladev National Park, Bharatpur, are protected as waterfowl habitats under the Convention of Wetlands of International Importance, that is Ramsar Convention. The country's wetlands have been grouped into 8 categories, which the reservoirs of the Deccan Plateau in the south, together with the lagoons and other wetlands of the southern west coast, the vast saline expanse of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and the Gulf of Kutch, freshwater lakes and reservoirs from Gujarat through Rajasthan, Kerala National Park, and Madhya Pradesh, the delta wetlands and lagoons of India's east coast, Chilika Lake, the freshwater marshes of the Gangetic Plain, and 6. The floodplains of the Brahmaputra, the marshes and swamps in the hills of northeast India and the Himalayan foothills. 7. The lakes and rivers of the mountain region of Kashmir and Ladakh, and 8. The mangrove forest and other wetlands of the island arcs of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Mangroves grow along the coasts in the salt marshes, tidal creeks, mud flats, and estuaries. They consist of a number of salt-tolerant species of plants crisscrossed by creeks of stagnant water and tidal flows. These forests give shelter to a wide variety of birds. In India, the mangrove forest spread over 6,740 square km, which is 7% of the world's mangrove forests. They are highly developed in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Sundarbans of West Bengal. Other areas of significance are the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna deltas. These forests too are being encroached upon and hence need conservation. Now, forest cover in India. According to state records, the forest area covers 23.28% of the total land. ये कब की डाटा है नहीं पता, तो रिसेंट डाटा चेक करना होगा. आई थिंक ये बिहार में क्वेश्चंस भी आया था इसके ऊपर, है ना. हाँ, अगली बार जो या फिर EMS में आया था क्वेश्चन था परसेंटेज क्या है, तो इसको देख के जाना है फिर से. द फॉरेस्ट एरिया इज द एरिया नोटिफाइड एंड रिकॉर्डेड एज द फॉरेस्ट लैंड इरेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द एक्जिस्टेंस ऑफ ट्रीज. मान लो गवर्नमेंट ने डिक्लेयर कर दे कि फॉरेस्ट एरिया है, तब वहाँ पर ट्री है या नहीं है उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है, बट वो एज ए फॉरेस्ट एरिया काउंट किया जाएगा. बट एक्चुअल फॉरेस्ट एरिया कवर क्या है, इस एरिया ऑक्यूपाइड बाय फॉरेस्ट विद कैनोपी डेफिनेटली, जहाँ पर ट्रीज होगा वही तो एक्चुअल फॉरेस्ट है. द फॉर्मर इज बेस्ड ऑन द रिकॉर्ड्स ऑफ द स्टेट रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट, व्हाइल द लेटर इज बेस्ड ऑन एरियल फोटोग्राफ एंड सैटेलाइट इमेजेस. In 2001, the actual forest cover was only 20.55%. Of the forest cover, the share of dense and open forest was 12.60% and 7.87% respectively. Both forest area and forest covers vary from state to state. Lakshadweep has 0% forest area. Andaman and Nicobar Islands have 86.93%. देखो लक्षद्वीप में 0% फॉरेस्ट एरिया, मतलब अभी जो न्यूज़ में आया था कि लक्षद्वीप में सब घूमने जाएंगे, मालदीव के जगह लक्षद्वीप जाएंगे, फिर वहाँ पर फॉरेस्ट नहीं है. ठीक है, लक्षद्वीप है 0% फॉरेस्ट एरिया. मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टेट्स विथ लेस दैन 10% of the forest area lie in the north and northwestern part of the country. These are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana, and Delhi. Most of the forest in Punjab and Haryana have been cleared for cultivation. States with 10 to 20% forest area are Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. In peninsular India, excluding Tamil Nadu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, in Goa, the area under forest cover is 20 to 30%. The northeastern states have more than 30% of the land under forests. Hilly topography and heavy rainfall are good for forest growth. There is a lot of variation in actual forest cover, which ranges from 9.56% in Jammu and Kashmir to 84.01% in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. From the table showing the distribution of forest in India, it is clear that there are 15 states where the forest cover is more than one-third of the total area, which is the basic requirement for maintaining the ecological balance. On the basis of the percentage of the actual forest cover, the states have been grouped into 4 regions. Forest conservation. ठीक है, तो हमने थोड़ी बहुत देखा, क्या देखे हैं, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ वेरिएशन इन एक्चुअल फॉरेस्ट कवर. ठीक है, फॉरेस्ट कवर के बारे में जाना. ओके, सो देखो फॉरेस्ट कंजर्वेशन. फॉरेस्ट्स हैव एन इंट्रिकेट इंटररिलेशनशिप विथ लाइफ एंड एनवायरनमेंट. These provide numerous direct and indirect advantages to our economy and society. Hence, conservation of forest is of vital importance to the survival and prosperity of mankind. Accordingly, the government of India proposed to have a nationwide forest conservation policy and adopted a forest policy in 1952, which was further modified in 1988. According to the new forest policy, the government will emphasize sustainable forest management in order to conserve and expand forest reserve on the one hand and to meet the needs of local people on the other. The forest policy aimed at bringing 33% of the geographical areas under forest cover, maintaining environmental stability and to restore forests where ecological balance was disturbed, conserving the natural heritage of the country, its biological diversity and genetic pool, checks soil erosion, extension of the desert lands and reduction of floods and droughts, increasing the forest cover through social forestry and afforestation on degraded land, increasing the productivity of forests to make timber, fuel, fodder and food available to rural population dependent on forests and encourage the substitution of wood, creating of a massive people's movement involving women to encourage planting of trees, stop felling of trees and thus reduce pressure on the existing forest. Based on the forest conservation policy, the following steps are initiated. Social forestry. Social forestry means the management and protection of forests and afforestation on barren lands with the purpose of helping in the environmental, social and rural development. The National Commission on Agriculture 1976 has classified social forestry into three categories. These are urban forestry, rural forestry and farm forestry. Urban forestry pertains to the raising and management of trees on public and privately owned lands in and around urban centers such as green belts, parks, roadside avenues, industrial and commercial green belts, parks, roadside avenues, industrial and commercial green belts, etc. Rural forestry lays emphasis on promotion of agroindustry, agroforestry and community forestry. Agroforestry is the raising of trees and agriculture crops on the same land inclusive of the waste patches. It combines forestry with agriculture, thus altering the simultaneous production of food, fodder, fuel, timber and fruit. Community forestry involves the raising of trees on public or community land such as the village pasture and temple land, roadside canal bank, strips along railway lines and schools, etc. Community forestry program aims at providing benefits to the community as a whole. Community forestry provides a means under which the people of landless classes can associate themselves in tree raising and thus get those benefits which otherwise are restricted for landowners. Farm forestry. Farm forestry is a term applied to the process under which farmers grow trees for commercial and non-commercial purposes on their farmlands. Wildlife. Wildlife of India is a great natural heritage. It is estimated that about 4 to 5% of all known plant and animal species on the earth are found in India. There are certain species that are at the brink of extinction. Some estimates suggest that at least 10% of India's recorded wild flora and 20% of its mammals are on the threatened list. Let us now understand the different categories of existing plants and animal species based on International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. We can classify as follows. Normal species. Species whose population levels are considered to be normal for their survival such as cattle, sal, pine, rodents, etc. Endangered species. These are species which are in danger of extinction. The survival of such species is difficult if the negative factors that have led to a decline in their population continue to operate. The examples of such species are black buck, crocodile, Indian wild ass, Indian rhino, lion-tailed macaw, Sangai, brow anteater deer in Manipur, etc. Vulnerable species. These are species whose population has declined to levels from where it is likely to move into the endangered category in the near future if the negative factors continue to operate. The examples of such species are blue sheep, Asiatic elephant, Gangetic dolphin, etc. Rare species. Species with small population may move into the endangered for vulnerable category if the negative factors affecting them continue to operate. The examples of such species are the Himalayan brown bear, wild Asiatic buffalo, desert fox and hornbill, etc. Endemic species. These are species which are not only found in some particular areas, usually isolated by natural or geographical barriers. Examples of such species are the Andaman teal, Nicobar pigeon, Andaman wild pig, Mithun in Arunachal Pradesh. Extinct species. These are species which are not found after searches of known or likely areas where they may occur. A species may be extinct from a local area, region, country, continent or the entire earth. Examples of such species are the Asiatic cheetah, pink-headed duck. Wildlife conservation in India. The protection of wildlife has a long tradition in India. Many stories of Panchatantra and Jungle Books, etc., have stood the test of time relating to the love for wildlife. These have a profound impact on young minds. In 1972, a comprehensive Wildlife Act was enacted which provides the main legal framework for conservation and protection of wildlife in India. The two main objectives of the Act are to provide protection to the endangered species listed in the schedule of the Act and to provide legal support to the conservation areas of the country classified as national parks, sanctuaries, and closed areas. This act has been comprehensively amended in 1991, making punishments more stringent, and has also made provisions for the protection of specified plant species and conservation of endangered species of wild animals. There are 92 national parks and 492 wildlife sanctuaries. So ये number definitely change हो गया है recently, covering an area of 15.67 million hectares in the country. Wildlife conservation has a very large ambit with unbounded potential for the well-being of mankind. However, this can be achieved only when every individual understands its significance and contributes his bit. For the purpose of effective conservation of flora and fauna, special steps have been initiated by the Government of India in collaboration with UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Program. Special schemes like Project Tiger and Project Elephant, Project Tiger in 1973 and Project Elephant 1992, have been launched to conserve these species and their habitat in a sustainable manner. Project Tiger has been implemented since 1973. The main objective of the scheme is to ensure maintenance of viable population of tigers in India for scientific, aesthetic, cultural and ecological values, and to preserve areas of biological importance as natural heritage for the benefit, education and enjoyment of the people. Initially, the Project Tiger was launched in 9 tiger reserves covering an area of 16,339 square km, which has now increased to 27 tiger reserves encompassing 37,761 square km of tiger habitats distributed in 17 states. The tiger population in the country has registered an increase from 1,827 in 1972 to 3,642 in 2001 to 2002. Project Elephant was launched in 1992 to assist states having free-ranging population of wild elephants. It was aimed at ensuring long-term survival of identified viable population of elephants in their natural habitat. The project is being implemented in 13 states. Apart from this, some other projects such as Crocodile Breeding Project, Project Hangul and Conservation of Himalayan Musk Deer have also been launched by the Government of India. Now, Biosphere Reserve. A Biosphere Reserve is a unique and representative ecosystem of terrestrial and coastal areas which are internationally recognized within the framework of UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Program. The Biosphere Reserve aims at achieving the three objectives as depicted in figure. फिगर हम बाद में देखेंगे. There are 16 biosphere reserves in India. 4 biosphere reserves, namely Nilgiri, Nanda Devi, Sundarbans and Gulf of Mannar, have been recognized by the UNESCO and World Network of Biosphere Reserves. ये चारों नाम जरूर याद रखना कि यूनेस्को द्वारा रिकॉग्नाइज्ड है. क्या क्या है? नीलगिरी, नंदा देवी, सुंदरबन एंड गल्फ ऑफ मन्नार. नीलगिरी, नंदा देवी, सुंदरबन एंड गल्फ ऑफ मन्नार. नाउ इनके बारे में पढ़ते हैं. नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व, सो NBR. It is the first of the 14 biosphere reserves of India. Was established in September 1986. It embraces the sanctuary complex of Wayanad, Nagarhal, Bandipur and Mudumalai, the entire forested hill slopes of Nilambar, the upper Nilgiri Plateau, Silent Valley and the Sirubani Hills. The total area of the biosphere reserve is around 5,520 square kilometer. The Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve possesses different habitat types, unspoiled areas of natural vegetation types with several dry scrubs, dry and moist deciduous, semi-evergreen and wet evergreen forest, evergreen shoals, grasslands and swamps. It includes the largest known population of 2 endangered animal species, namely the Nilgiri tahr and the lion-tailed macaw. The largest South Indian population of elephant, tiger, gaur, sambar and chital, as well as a good number of endemic and endangered plants are also found in this reserve. The habitat of a number of tribal groups remarkable for the traditional moods of harmonious use of the environment are also found here. The topography of the NBR is extremely varied, ranging from an altitude of 250 meter to 2650 meter. About 80% of the flowering plants reported from the Western Ghats occur in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Now, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. So, the Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve, situated in Uttarakhand, includes parts of Chamoli, Almora, Pithoragarh and Bageshwar districts. The major forest types of the reserves are temperate. A few important species of silver weed and orchids like latifolia and rhododendron. The biosphere reserve has a rich fauna, for example, the snow leopard, black deer, black bear, brown bear, musk deer, snow cock, golden eagle, and black eagle. Major threats to the ecosystem are the collection of endangered plants for medicinal use, forest fires and poaching. So name of the reserve, their geographical area, list total लोकेशन तो स्टेट्स के अंदर दिया गया। तो 14 हमारा इंडिया में 14 बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स है, इनमें से 4 यूनेस्को के द्वारा रिकॉग्नाइज किया गया है, जो कि हमने देखा नीलगिरी है, नंदा देवी है, सुंदरबन है और गालपॉप मन्नर है। नाउ सुंदरबन बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व इट इज लोकेटेड इन द स्वाम्पी delta of the river Ganga in West Bengal. It extends over a vast area of 9,630 square kilometer and consists of mangrove forest, swamps and forested in islands. Sundarban is the home of nearly 200 Royal Bengal tigers. The tangled mass of roots of mangrove trees provides safe homes for a large number of species from fish to shrimp. More than 170 bird species are known to inhabit these mangrove forests, adapting itself to the saline and freshwater environment. The tigers at the park are good swimmers and they hunt scarce prey such as chital deer, barking deer, wild pig and even macaws. In the Sundarbans, the mangrove forests are characterized by Heritiera-forms, a species valued for its timber. कि मैनग्रोव फॉरेस्ट कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय हेरिटिएरा फॉर्म्स, ए स्पीशीज वैल्यूड फॉर इट्स टिम्बर. Now Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. The Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve covers an area of 1,05,000 hectares on the southeast coast of India. It is one of the world's richest regions from a marine biodiversity perspective. The Biosphere Reserve comprises 21 islands with estuaries, beaches, forests of the near shore environment, sea grasses, coral reefs, salt marshes and mangroves. Among the Gulf's 3,600 plant and animal species are globally endangered sea cow, dugong and 6 mangrove species endemic to peninsular India. तो ये हमारा हो गया नेचुरल वेजिटेशन वाला चैप्टर ख़त्म, ठीक है। और आगे का चैप्टर है हमारा सॉइल्स। तो इस वीडियो को इसी पे पॉज करते हैं, हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में सॉइल्स को पढ़ेंगे।